This is a good video if you're someone who absolutely hates feeling emotionally out of control or always feels like they're 100% together. So if you're that person who people might say, geez, you're really strong, I feel like you've always got it together, very important to know for you to be able to grow and evolve. One of the things that we despise as human beings is to feel uncomfortable. We naturally want to pull away because our amygdala says, alert, alert, pain! And we are great at finding ways to get away from it. I wrote a book on it called The Unfuckwithable Life, right? We go for short-term gratification, validation, could be food. And nowadays it's like connecting online. And then let's just numb that down. We have all of the mechanisms. Wine, Tinder, whatever, right? So, what this means is that we miss out on the most important process, which gives us the most fulfillment as human beings, which is to fall apart, learn and grow. As humans and spiritual beings, humans, imperfect, got darkness and light, spiritual beings, we want to get closer to that. Our innate purpose is, let me realize that I am actually that potential that I was born as. Cool, how do I get there? I spend the first half of my life building up a sense of this is who I am. And the second half, we have to let that fall apart and kind of break that down, break it away. The cycle of life is absolutely important. So the breakdown is everything. But if you're a really strong person or you don't like feeling emotionally out of control, which is most of us, but if you particularly are kind of an anxious or quite a flighty person and you get, you feel a lot, it can be even more overwhelming when that breakdown comes to happen, and it needs to happen. When we get to that point where something needs to end, and this might be a job you've been in for 10 years or a relationship that's well past its due date. It could be as simple as, changing locations. Could be something in your day of like, maybe you need a work break. It's like all of the time, every moment is a cycle. We have cycles in seasons, we have cycles in years, we have cycles in decades and centuries. If you look at us as, as a bigger structure, like on a macro level as a world, think of wars and the cycles that we go through, repression, depressions, and then we're coming out of like the patriarchy. You can see it happens on every level. If we don't do the breakdown, we'll never grow. And if we don't grow, we'll never be fulfilled. So this is how you can get through that breakdown much easier. Two things. Number one, focus on understanding that the fulfillment that we really innately desire, that kind of pulls us forward, that deep contentment and fulfillment, that always comes after the breakdown and the growth. You get way closer to who you are innately. That happens post meltdown, post breakdown, post falling apart. You can't get there without it. What you can do without that fulfillment or without the breakdown is you can hold it all together. But what happens there is, I want you to imagine like a flower, right? It starts as a seed, grows, blossoms, and it blooms. When we bloom, in the West, we want to hold that bloom. So it's kind of like, we idolize this perfect body or this perfect face or this perfect life. We want to hold that bloom. And so we inject things into us, or we take supplements, or we filter our photos. We want to keep that perfection. So we can do that and we be that perfect flower at that bloom point, but we die inside. We die inside. So then what that does is that perpetuates that need to fill up. So that's when your short-term stimulation or addictive behaviors will kick in, right? You've either got trauma coming in or you're not in alignment and you're resisting breakdown and growth. So you keep trying to fill up or numb. So have a look at your life. If you're doing that, you probably have to go in and release some stuff, or have a look at what are you resisting that needs to break down. So number one is focusing on and knowing that the whole overall goal of that fulfillment and that contentment, that's going to occur, that deep aligned fulfillment. That's going to occur when you do the hard thing and you move through the hard stuff. And number two, get okay with the fact that it's going to be uncomfortable for some time, so that when emotions come up or you think, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this, the breakup or changing jobs or moving countries or whatever the scary thing is, I don't want to do it because it's going to feel uncomfortable. Remember that this is what the brain does, and it totally fucks us up. There are infinite possibilities of what could happen if you leave your job or you leave the relationship or you change locations or you make change, right? It's the brink of change. So many outcomes can happen. Infinite. What we do as human beings is we pick the one that could be the most painful, and then we go 7 steps ahead and we invent some stupid, mythical, poisonous creature that's going to hurt us, aka fear, discomfort emotionally, and we go, no, I'm just going to stay here in my comfort of suffering so that I avoid this possible potential thing that I think might hurt me. So if we can just accept the fact that growth is going to be uncomfortable and start to kind of lean into that and open ourselves a little bit to discomfort. It's like when you're in a hard yoga pose. What does your teacher say? Breathe into that muscle. It's the same thing. Use your breath. Use your presence. Focus on the long-term goal. Breaking apart is necessary to evolve as a human being and be fulfilled on a spiritual level. So if you're one of those tough nuts, or if you know another tough nut or someone who really struggles with discomfort, please share this video or tag them, because every single being deserves to feel that potential. Right, so in summary, breakdowns 100% necessary for fulfillment in life. If you want to get through them easily, know that experience, that fulfillment on the other side of going through the trenches and the darkness and the discomfort, 1 bazillion times more fulfilling than the current safety of now. And if you want to wonder why you feel like you're suffering in your life and you're not sure what's going on, you know that you're resisting, so just do the hard thing. Do it now. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable and don't freak out, because guess what, guys? This is going to happen for the rest of your life.